I'm Brendan Riley. I was I am an addict that was addicted to ice, alcohol, and marijuana. I'm an ex-suicide victim. I've been in jail, and I'm here to hopefully help someone. I walked upstairs. I said to the guy whose house it was at, and I said, I'm going to go downstairs and shoot myself. And he laughed. And so I went downstairs, I loaded my gun, put it underneath my jaw, blew my face apart. I was in a coma for 1 month and 2 days. I was hospitalised while they rebuilt me for about 6 or 7 months. They took both of my fibular bones, both of my pectoral muscles to rebuild my face. It's just horrific, you know. It's also the worst decision I've ever made in my life. After that, my family, my wife, at that time, everything went downhill. I was just nothing more than the freak that you're seeing in the mirror. When I came here, Janine, Alex, Bronwyn, they changed my way of thinking. They changed who I was. They made me do things that, and not bad things. They just made me go so out of my comfort zone that I realised that I can be a person again. I can be part of this world. I've had some hard times just before I came here. Didn't believe in anything. I didn't care. My goal was actually to find somewhere out in the middle of the bush and gas me and my dog. Disappeared into the bush for about 3 weeks. 3 high-speed pursuits later. Ended up in maximum security jail for 4 months. And I can tell you right now, people, maximum security is not a place you want to go to. Jail's really hard. It's a place where you have to survive. You don't want to be there, no one wants to be there, but you have to go in there, you have to survive that place. Anyway, I walked out of there thinking I could stay clean. It's not. Staying clean, it's an effort. It's something you have to work at, and it's not something you can just say, hey, tomorrow I'm going to be clean. You have to wake up every day and say, today I will be clean. Within an hour of being released from jail, I had a drink in my hand. Within a day, I had drugs in my system. Within a week, my life had just gone back to the same old hell that just seems to come around. It just seems to be, when you live that lifestyle, that's who you think you are. I didn't realise that you could change, you could be someone different, you can have a life, you can smile, you can be happy if you want, but happiness isn't something that's given to you, you've got to work for it. When I came in here, I was in such a dark place. I was on death's door. If I didn't have a needle hanging out my arm, then I had a drink in my hand. If I didn't have a drink in my hand, I had a pipe or a bomb hanging out of my mouth. When I first got here, I was at the Kingscliff pub. I made a phone call to Alistair. Within half an hour, he was there picking me up, and it was bad. I actually had a drug order on. I had a bloke bringing me drugs, and Alistair come to get me, and it was whichever one got there first was which way I was going to go, And I was just lucky that Alistair, he dropped everything. They come down, they put me in the back of this car, and I seriously thought they were police officers. And I thought they were taking me to jail. I sat there for an hour in this car, well, 45 minutes in this car going, where the hell am I going? What are they doing? Where are they taking me? The second they got me here, they were just so calming, so relaxing. The whole environment, They made me contact my family, which I hadn't spoken to my mother in at least a week and a half. He's like, no, you got to talk to your mother. We need to let someone know that you're here. Then they're just like, look, come upstairs, and gave me some juice. They looked at me, they said, look, you get to bed. And they put me in this bed, and for 3 days I might have woken up an hour a day, if that. And they just detoxed me to get me off everything. And it's hard. I'm not telling you, I'm telling you right now, don't think it's going to be easy. You know, there is nothing easy about trying to clean yourself up. You just, your body goes into shock, I think. Anyway, by about day 4, they're like, right, yeah, you got to get up, you got to start doing something. So they started with, and this is what I love about this place, it was always one-on-one counselling. It's always about you. They will make and change the program to suit the person. They will help you find out who you are. They actually seem to know you better than you know yourself when you walk in here. And it's just the way that they will change the program so that it suits you. The counsellors that they have here, Alex, Bronwyn, they are cheese and chalk, I'm telling you, like, they are so different, but it's good to have their both ways of thinking, because if you sit there, and most programs are all about, 30 people in a room, you sit down with one counsellor and the counsellor says, you're wrong, you're on drugs, you're the wrong one. These guys aren't about you being wrong, they're about, well, what you've done isn't good for you, but we can change the way that you are. We can help you become you. But they don't ever tell you that you're wrong, that you've done bad, that you're part of, you shouldn't be like this in life. They look at who you are, what you can naturally do, and they'll work with you. They make you into the person you're meant to be, not the drug-induced, not the alcohol-induced thought or person that, the alcohol and drugs, they don't make you who you are. They make you who they want you to be. They're the poison, and that's the best way to explain it. It's a poison in your system. I hadn't smiled until I came here. Somehow they have this way of twisting your mind, and they don't get in your head. They know how to change a person. They know how to see a person for who they really are, not the person that they think they are. Janine, I tell you, she's wonderful in so many ways. She just always knows how to make you smile. Doesn't matter, you can be in the worst mood, you can feel like the world's coming to the end, and she'll do something like she dragged me, and she looked at me one day and she's like, oh, you've got a lovely voice, I'm going to take you to singing lessons. And I don't like to even talk in front of people, because I've always been told, look at your face. And anyway, she drags me off to these singing lessons. I was so nervous walking into it. Nat, the singing coach, he was just wonderful. He sat there and I walked into him. He made life so easy. I still like my singing. I find that music's my little escape from the world. There's nothing better than just putting your headphones in. You just be, you're not part of this world. You can just be who you want to be. And anyway, so I've went to singing, and we've done singing, and then she's like, oh, well, why don't you come to dancing? And I'm thinking, I've got 3 left feet, 4 arms, and you want me to dance? And so off to dancing we go, and I still think I'm a horrible dancer. But I love it. It's the most fun I've ever had. You walk out of there smiling. You meet new people. It's such a social event. Every day's like a new experience, like growing again, like learning to walk. Um, every day you'll find something each day, or even just find one thing a week that you think, holy hell, I've never done that, or I've never tried that, or I found peace, I guess, in myself. I'm still, every day is different. Some days I find happiness, other days just need to sit and be by myself and take me time. I've got an idea where I want to be, a place where I want to go, a person that I want to try and become. So if I keep working to that, then hopefully I'll get there. The biggest thing I learned, that there is light inside of your head. I came in here, I'd shut my eyes and I looked at it, see was darkness. Just pain and regret and just darkness. Anyway, I remember sitting in there with Bronwyn one day. I looked at her and I went, I can actually see light in my head. I can see, I said, only a tiny glimmer. But by the time I left here, it was like a light bulb had turned on inside of my head. I could see happiness, joy, laughter. If you're questioning yourself about why you need help, or you're trying to find help, or if you're sitting there wondering, hey, what's wrong with me? Why do I do this? Make the phone call. Just reach out. If you do that first step of reaching out, I can guarantee that these guys will wrap their arms around you and they will not let you go.